All right, and welcome back to... I don't even have a name for the channel yet. I think I'm going to name it maybe like Esoteric Gaming or something like that. I'd kind of like to avoid the term, you know, occult, maybe. Esoteric Gaming. I like the word esoteric just because it comes with less stigma. It's not that I don't mind the word occult. A lot of people just get the wrong idea when they hear it. Look, you can see down below this web. Yes, I know. You can look down through there, but it's no good to look down there. You gotta end up jumping down there. So yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll create a new, YouTube channel called Esoteric Gaming or something along those lines, and this will be, the second video. This will be part 2 of the Ocarina of Time guide. Basically, what we're doing is we're going through the Deku Tree now. This is gonna be a bare bones, walk through. I'm not 100%ing everything. Basically, just the items that are easy to find or that don't take too long. So there's your dungeon map. Your dungeon map's basically just it's gonna be the map. It shows you where all the rooms are. Blue chambers are places you've already visited. Your current location flashes. So really, most dungeons, unless you're trying to get every single item, you don't really need the map. Especially like in this, the Deku place. Okay, is this where the slingshot is? There's a door over here. Yes, I know you can open a door by pressing A. We know. Alright, go in this door. Use your shield to get this guy. Deku Scrub. It will hide in the grass if you get close to it. Bounce the nuts. It spits back at it. Yep. Bounce those nuts back. Right there. Ow, ow, ow. Forgive me, master. If I give you a clue, will you let me go? When you jump off a high cliff, if you hold the control stick forward, you will roll on the ground when you land and won't get hurt from the fall. I can't guarantee it will work, though, if the cliff is really, really high. Well, try it if you are feeling bold. Sometimes funny to see the way that, like, things get translated into English. I'm sure in the Japanese version, it's probably words that a little bit differently than it does in English. But they do a good job. I give them credit. Like, I don't know much about different languages, so it's... anybody who can translate. And that's interesting with like the eye on the wall right there. It's reminiscent of the boss Goma or Gama. I think it's pronounced Goma of this place, and it has a giant like looking eye that's kind of reminiscent of like an all-seeing eye almost. But I want to say it has other eyes on it. We'll find out when we get to it. The boss of this place anyway. So trying to keep the whole tree dungeon within the 20-minute, we're gonna try to keep this video at about 20 minutes again. Fairy slingshot. A lot of fairy items in this game. The fairy bow is what you get later on. So there's a connection with, like, this game has a strong connection with fairies or fae type energy. So that is something to, take into account, when it comes to any of the symbolism within the game. All right. You got to use your newfound slingshot, shoot down this ladder, jump down, get some items out of these. There's your Deku seeds. You shoot in your slingshot. These are small, hard seeds that you can use as bullets for your slingshot. All right. Get these. There's something else up here. I forgot about that. Is it a gold sculpture? We'll get it since it's here. We don't need any additional items to get it, I'm sure. Oh, it's a chest. What is it, like just a heart? Yep, that's silly. Alright. Alright, up the ladder we go. So that is an item that is required basically. You're gonna need the slingshot to proceed, you know. That's almost like an eye in the middle of this room too. Huh. Yeah, they're kind of everywhere, huh? A lot of eye symbolism in this game. There's a lot of eye symbolism in most Zelda games, you know. It's one of the most important, you know, symbols. I do a video on the all-seeing eye on my channel. Occult Perspective is my other YouTube channel. So, where are we at now? 5 minutes. We got plenty of time. We'll knock out this whole dungeon, you know, in 20 minutes easy. There's really not that much to it. There's a door up here where you get the compass, but you know, honestly, you don't need the compass, but since it's such a short dungeon, we'll just go ahead and do it anyway. All right. Yep, compass is in here. I'm trying to remember what you do. Need sticks. Didn't need to do all that. Alright, step on this. Take this. Is there something I'm supposed to light over here? Well, there's a gold sculpture right there anyway. Alright, there's that. It's our first one. There's 100 of those in the game. And I'll go ahead and show you guys later on where, you know, you cash those in at, basically. But there's different rewards you can get throughout the game. If you're not familiar with this game, you know, already. Okay. Yeah, I figured Ocarina of Time would be a perfect game to, you know, do my first walkthrough because this is my favorite game. I mean, this is my favorite video game. This game has the most nostalgia connected with it. I think it has the best storyline for its time. You know, this game came out in 1998. I was only like 7 years old. And there's another magic number right there, 7. So there's just a lot of, you know, basically the mystery school tradition was being shown to me, you know, through a lot of symbols that are in this game. And, you know, we'll get into that. This game is full of like Masonic and occult symbolism, so we'll continue to dive into that as we play the game. And I also do I do esoteric, you know, symbolism about these games already on my channel, but I figured, you know, it would be fun to go through and do a whole walkthrough. So with the compass, you can see the locations of many hidden things in the dungeon. I think it lets you see where all the hidden things are, though. It may not show you where all the hidden walls and stuff are, but you know, it does show you where all the chests are in the dungeon, so that can be useful. There should only be like 2 more chests in this whole dungeon. There's not much left to it. There's only, let's see. Yeah, there's only 1 more chest in the whole dungeon. So the compass is kind of a silly thing to have. It shows you where the boss is too. I don't think the normal map shows you that. Let's see what Navi says. Big Skulltula, or Skulltula, however you want to say that. Its soft belly is its weak point. Well, I waited too long there. Okay, there we go. Then you basically just, in this game, there's no jump button. You just run off the edge and then make sure you fall down right in the middle. So don't go too far, just stay about right there. You fall down. We've got 2 of those golden Skulltulas. Or I'm sorry, yes, there are 2. There's 1 on this wall right here. And 1 right behind us over here. Oops. Okay, nice. Get that one. And I think in that chest, it's just another little piece of heart. That is the only other chest in this whole dungeon, I want to say. Now that we've opened that, is that correct? Yep. So the compass is basically useless in this dungeon. It's not really, you know, there's no hidden, like really hidden chests anywhere that I'm aware of. The most hidden one was the one in the room with the slingshot where you climb up that vine. So anyway. Alright. Proceeding. take this, go ahead and take this guy out, get him out of your way. You don't even have to worry about him. Get some more items here. Time to use the torch, which we lit with the switch. Oops, take the stick. Then you want to run across this little platform and burn this web. And when I was a kid, I had no idea that you were supposed to use a stick and, you know, burn spider webs with it. I basically had to look that up. I don't remember if I had a player's guide at the time. Internet was just a thing, so it wasn't like today where you just like go on YouTube or look up walkthroughs and stuff like that. They didn't really have that back then. You pretty much had to, I mean, for the most part, I think back then you had to have a player's guide. I don't remember surfing the web a whole lot, you know, when I was that little. Please forgive me, Master. I'll never do it again. If you spare me, I'll teach you something cool. You will never beat my brothers up ahead unless you punish them in the proper order. The order is 2, 3, 1. 23 is number 1. Do you think I'm a traitor? What is the symbolism of 23? Well, 2 is duality, and then you have the Trinity right after. Yeah, you got to shoot this eye. There's another eye with the slingshot. Eye symbolism. All-seeing eye, you know, it represents divinity, you know, any deity of any specific religion. It could represent any really spirit or deity that you're working with. The all-seeing eye has like, honestly, it has like almost unlimited like meanings depending on who you are and, you know, what your mystical tradition is. After you get into the water, if you hold down A, you can dive. Yay. I bet there are some interesting things underwater. So let's check it out. Just hit this button, hit the switch, water starts to go down, but you gotta be quick. So you wanna get yourself back up on shore, and then this platform will take you across. You can stand or crouch if the switch is still activated. Listen, okay. Yes, we know you can grab the block with the A button. I suppose this is useful for new players though. But yes, we all get tired of hearing it after the 100th, you know. I've probably beaten this game a good 60 times. I've never beaten a game as many times as I've beaten this game. It's almost something I do like, you know, a couple times a year, it seems like. I can never really stay away from this game long enough to not play it. You know, it's such an integral part of my, you know, integral part or integral part of my life, however you want to pronounce that word. I don't know if there's a right way to say that word or not. Take this dude out. Use the fire. Light these torches. That opens the door. The 2 torches, the 2 pillars, and a 3rd reconciling torch. You know, once you start seeing the mystical in the little things, you can, and in the big things, I guess, you start to see how this, you start to see the mystical in everything, basically. Even just mundane stuff can all of a sudden be magical too if you understand, you know, certain properties, and, you know, things get a lot more interesting in that way. So what you can do is you can shoot these eggs on the ceiling with your slingshot. What I'm going to do is just let them hatch. I'm just going to run across. They're not that hard to beat. They're basically baby versions of the boss that we're about to fight though. Goma or Gamma larva. Look out when it gets ready to pounce. So hit him there. Hit him there. Get them. Okay, so ignore that for now because you can't get in there anyway. You have to come back here when you have bombs. Pretty sure there's a gold Skulltula spider hidden in that. So we're going to use this stick, and we're going to burn this web over here. There we go. Getting pretty close to the boss now. Slide under here. Alright. This block over here, go ahead and push this forward. That way you have your shortcut. In case you need to like save and quit the game or whatever, you know. Gotta go do something, turn the game off for a little bit, you can hop back up here and, you know, get yourself up here on this platform now. So I'm gonna take this stick. Wait, I can't reach that far. That's right, you have to, I knew that. You gotta use this one. Jump over here, on here, jump up there, and swipe it. And then you can use your sword, hit B real quick if you want to keep your stick and put it away. They're pretty easy to get anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Alright, so the order is 2, 3, 1. 23 is number 1. I'll just stay here, wait for him to come back. There he is. How did you know our secret? How irritating. Yes, I have all your occult secrets. I know them all. It's so annoying that I'm going to reveal the secret of Queen Goma to you. In order to administer the coup de grace to Queen Goma, strike with your sword while she's stunned. Oh, Queenie. Sorry about that. So those Deku Scrubs, they must be like her servants or something. That's kind of an interesting way to see all of this. So here's the boss. We're at 17 minutes, so we still have time. You basically walk in here. The door closes behind you. And then you have to look up at the ceiling in order to see the boss. And for the boss, to trigger the boss to come down. Looking up. There it is. She rolls her eye back. Okay, so it is just a single eye. There's no other eye. So yeah, the first boss in the game has a single eye. So there's, you know, symbolism in that. You know, you can look up the symbolism on the one, you know, the single eye. There's numerous symbolism depending on who you are. Goma, it's one of the parasitic monsters inside the Deku Tree. Its eye is vulnerable when it's red. So it's literally one of the parasitic monsters. Interesting. So there's more than this one, but it only takes beating this one, I guess, to... Okay, let's go ahead and shoot. Shoot. Hi-ya. Oh. There we go. So it usually only takes 2 phases of, you know, shooting it down. If you don't beat her that quick, what ends up happening is she goes to the top and lays eggs and stuff, and then you have to aim up there with your slingshot again. Like, just try not to give her that chance to even lay the eggs, you know, just beat her really quick. There is the heart container, I believe. Yes. It maximizes your hearts by 1. Your life energy, your vitality will be totally filled. Okay. I'm going to test something. If I save the game and then I reset it, I wonder if that means that the light will just still be there. Let's try that really quick. Because we're already at 19, yeah, we're almost to 20 minutes in the video, and I know that the dialogue is going to take a little bit of time, you know, after this battle. So I'm going to wait till the 3rd video to actually go over the dialogue and stuff. Okay, so we're in the tree. Let's just jump down here real quick and make sure that that light is still there. It should be, and then we'll wait until the next video to go into the light. Heaven, let your light shine down. Oh. Or if you're Phil Collins, I'm gonna dance into the light. There it is. Alrighty, we will end the video here, and we will wait until the next episode to go into the light, ascend up the tree, go back up to the surface, and there'll be some dialogue with the tree that's kind of interesting. So yeah, we'll catch that in the next video. Thank you, everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll continue next time. Peace and blessings, my friends.